with the home cooking, as they like to say. In the first match, the bronze medal match, it's the women's teams, USA, taking on the People's Republic of China. This should be a good one, Crispin.
It really should. Team USA definitely having home court advantage. We can hear everybody just getting into the spirit of this competition, cheering on their countrywomen. And we can see Team China here ready and willing to defeat the USA on their home turf. Some of the Chinese archers had some problems getting here. Some of their equipment didn't show up until last minute, and some of them didn't show up at all. So it's great to see the Chinese women on this field of play going for the bronze medal against Team USA.
It's a fairly simple format, isn't it?
It really is, and we can see Team USA here on the screen.
This is Miranda Leek, Jennifer Nichols, and Khatuna Lorig. This is the team that won a silver medal in Turkey at the second stage of the World Cup just a month or so ago, and there is their coach as we get set for the competition. But as we were saying, it is a simple format. It's basically whoever has the most points wins.
That's exactly right. We have 70 meters for each arrow to travel. And here we have Team China on the screen.
Cheng Ming, Fang Yuting, and Jing comprising the team from the People's Republic of China, which will battle against the United States in this first match here tonight at Lindquist Field.
And here's their coach. And obviously we can see on the screen that those targets did look far away, and we can see it right there that it is 70 meters away. That's nothing for all of these archers here. They've practiced it a bunch of times before getting here, and here they are to showcase their abilities. It's 70 meters and 24 arrows going to be shot by each team. Each archer is going to only shoot 2 arrows per end, and they're going to have 1 minute to shoot a 3-arrow pass. So in overall 2 minutes to shoot their 6 arrows per end. 2 whistles are going to signify for the archers to get ready to come to the line, and we can see the archers are getting ready, they're getting settled. 1 whistle will bring them to the line. And here's Jennifer Nichols from Team USA.
She is a 2-time Olympian, by the way.
Yeah, she's a very good shooter. She's been around for a long time, and it's awesome to see her still shooting, still really competitive, and taking it to Team China right now.
So Jennifer Nichols getting things started the right way for Team USA.
That is definitely a really good start for her. Really a lot of confidence building for her team. And this is Miranda Leek,
who is all of 18 years old.
Still a junior, but competing with all the seniors and adults on this field.
8 at 9 o'clock.
And that's an 8. We can hear her coach telling her exactly where it's gone, so she might move her sight or analyze her shot. Last but not least, Khatuna Lorig, moved here from Georgia, has been to the Olympics numerous times, and here competing for Team USA.
And Khatuna with a 9. So pretty good start for Team USA.
27 for the first 3 arrows. Here comes Team China.
27 out of a possible 30, and so now Team China knows what it's up against.
Quick shot from China, and that's a 9, just low.
China defeated France to reach the finals, or I should say our bronze medal match, defeated the French 218 to 213, and then lost to India in the semis 209 to 207. And then the second is a 10.
Definitely another confidence booster for China. They can put themselves in the lead by just putting an arrow into the gold or the yellow rings of the target. And there's that lead, 1-point lead for Team China after the first 3 arrows. Team USA will come up again. Whatever time has been left over after their first 3 arrows is the time that they get for these last 3.
Jennifer Nichols.
It's a 7 out high. She'll be wondering what happened there, but could be any conditions on the field. It could be any number of things, but it's still really early in the match for any one arrow to decide the fate.
Miranda Leek, the next shooter for Team USA, with an 8.
8 high. So considering both archers are out there, something may be happening on this field of play that they're not seeing. You see Khatuna getting ready. She's probably made some adjustments already to put this arrow into the gold. We'll see with this shot. There it is.
Khatuna Lorig, there you go.
That's in the X ring, which is dead center in the 10 ring, a little faint line used to break ties in the qualification round. However, here it only counts as a 10.
So now the People's Republic of China to counter.
It's a 9. Team China looking really strong here in their first 4 arrows so far. And they're definitely not any team to bat your eyes at. They are very strong, very confident in their shooting, and always out here to win.
That time an 8.
So now China's in kind of an easy situation here. Anything inside the 8 ring, and they're going to be in the lead. An 8 will give them a 1-point lead, and anything in the gold will give them 2 points or better. And that's a 9. So China leads USA by 2 points, 54 to 52 after the first 6 arrows.
How important to get off to that lead?
Sometimes it can be really important, but other times it can not have any effect at all. Some other teams may start out a little slow and then they can drop a 60 on you, which is all 6 arrows in the 10 ring. And I have seen that done with some teams where they were in that score deficit, but they come back and they win it. So for China to take this 2-point lead is an advantage for now, but Team USA I know is a very strong team, and they can definitely bounce back from this 2-point deficit. And once again, there are 4 ends of 6 arrows to be shot. Only 1 has been completed so far, so we'll see what the next 3 ends have in store for each of these teams.
Pressure is always a factor in this sport, Crispin, but you can't succumb to the pressure this early. There's still a long way to go and a lot of arrows to be shot.
Definitely. And pressure won't be affecting many of these archers. A lot of them have a plan that they're going to be running through, and it would be a simple plan that they would have formulated in their head. Usually it might come down to 1 to 3 words that they would say in their head while they're doing their shot. Sometimes the archers have nothing to say at all and they just come up and they shoot their arrow. But either way, the pressure with the numerous people that we see behind them, the fact that when they're shooting on the field, they're the only archer on this field shooting an arrow, that won't matter for any of these people right now because their main goal is to do their shot like they always do. If you do anything special, anything extra in these matches, then you're not going to be doing very well. So it's up to these archers to do what they do best. Crispin
Duenas knows of which he speaks. He, of course, one of the competitors this week from Team Canada here in Ogden, Utah, where we're getting set for the second end in the women's bronze medal match. And it's Team USA stepping up to the shooting line.
Now, the reason why Team USA is stepping up first is because we can see that they have 52 points versus China's 54. In the rules for this format, any team or archer who has less points always comes up first, always shoots first. Kind of puts a little bit of pressure onto the higher scoring archer or team, but as I said, it's not going to affect the good archers on the field.
USA starts out with an 8. Now it's Miranda Leek's turn.
Being the strong archer she is, she puts it into the 9 ring. It's on the other side of where her last arrow went, so she might have adjusted her sight a little bit too much because the flags aren't really flapping on the field, indicating no wind.
7 and 9. That's all right.
That's a 7 from Khatuna on the same side where Miranda's went, off to the left.
Considering the lack of wind, are you surprised by this start?
I am actually very surprised because I know Khatuna can shoot arrows in the middle all day long, and we'll see what happens after China goes. But that's a 10
taking
from
advantage.
10. Yep. And that'll definitely boost China's confidence once again because 24 from Team USA is kind of not in favor for them. China grouping a little bit high on the target.
And now the final arrow, or I should say the third arrow of this end for the People's Republic of China.
A 4 will put them into the lead. And that's a 9.
More than enough.
So that is a 6-point lead for China now going into the final 3 arrows of this end.
And Jennifer Nichols, the 2-time Olympian, trying to bounce back from a somewhat disappointing performance at the U.S. Pan Am Trials. Drills a 9.
She's got an awesome group off to the right there, so she'll definitely be moving her sight to put those arrows into the 10 ring. And here comes Miranda.
See what type of adjustment she makes.
There you go.
Right beside her first arrow, so these girls are definitely shooting really consistently. Hopefully Khatuna's arrow is not going to be out where her first arrow landed. Actually, I'm pretty sure it won't be.
Lorig, the veteran of this squad, competed in the Summer Games at Sydney 11 years ago and then in Beijing.
And that's another disappointing 7 for Khatuna. I'm wondering what's happening down there, if it's anything with the lighting change. We can see the archers are in the shade, but the targets are in the sun. So sometimes that can have an effect on the archer's vision.
Dead center for China as they build their lead. I was going to ask you about that. We're going to see the conditions, the lighting conditions change throughout the evening. It's sunset here in Utah, and the lights will also be coming on and taking over.
Yeah, we'll see a lot of left-right change in the arrow placement on the target, but we can see China is shooting in the sunlight. Their archers are in the sun, and the target is in the sun, whereas the U.S. has shade over them, and that's just due to the stadium that's behind the archers here and the angle of the sun. But China has definitely a lead. 2 points will give them the lead. It's a 10-point. And a 9-point lead for China at the halfway point of this match. Scores right now are out of 120 points. 110 for Team China unofficially and 101 for Team USA. The reason why I say unofficial is because what we see on the TV screen hasn't been verified down at the target by the judges and the team's agent, who's down there, you know, fighting for all the points that they can get and marking the target and pulling all of the arrows for each team. So we can see the scoring going on right now at the top of your screen, and that's just to see if all of the arrows that were called unofficially are going to become official.
So trust but verify.
Exactly. Because if I'm correct, the people downfield also have a TV screen, or they can see the TV screen and know exactly where all those arrows are, and they're writing the score down as the arrows land. And if there's any questionable arrows, which would be an arrow touching the line, then those would have to be taken, have a closer look to verify the actual score of the archer.
So there you see the scores up to this point. Large lead for the People's Republic of China after the first two ends. And a good look at the crowd here at Lindquist Field on a Friday night in Ogden, Utah. Great to see the fans up in the stands. And I've got to wonder a little bit, maybe sometimes there's a little bit of pressure when you're in your own backyard and competing in front of your own fans. The expectation levels obviously are there, and maybe the USA archers feeling a little bit of that.
They might be, and they might be, you know, they could be trying a little bit too hard, like what I said at the beginning. They might be trying to do every little detail down to a T. But in my shooting experience, if you just let the shot flow and just let your body do what it knows how to do, then all of your arrows start to hit in the middle. But right now I can't exactly say why the U.S. isn't shooting all of their arrows inside the gold. It's strange to me, but it will, you know, it's happening right now as we speak, and we can't change anything about this, and we don't know what's going on through the archers' heads right now, so I can't speculate much. But what I can say is that the U.S. being in this deficit will definitely have some.
It's a large hill to climb,
yeah.
It's a big hill to climb right now as Jennifer Nichols peers through that sight and lets it fly and comes up with an 8.
Again, that's off to the right where her arrows from the last end were.
18-year-old Miranda Leek, who will be competing later on tonight with Brady Ellison in the mixed team finals.
So that arrow from Miranda is possibly an 8 or a 9. It's lying on the line. It could be touching the line, and it could be out. What happens in this situation is when the judges and the archers' agents take a closer look, they're going to verify if that arrow is indeed touching the line.
There's
and again,
another one on the line.
There's another arrow on the line. If it is touching the line, the archers will get the benefit of the doubt and get the higher scoring value for those arrows. So right now, unofficially, they're marked as an 8 with an asterisk and a 9 as an asterisk, respectively, because we don't know if it's going to be an 8 or a 9 or a 9 and a 10. Team China.
Cheng with a 10. So China keeping up the pressure.
We could see the shade starting to encroach on Team China. We'll see if this changes anything for them. Clearly, Team China is very confident, very relaxed, and shooting 10s like I know they can.
Fang Yuting with a 10 that time. And China dialed in. here in the bronze medal match in the women's competition. And they finish it off with a 9, but a very strong end.
Definitely, you know, a little bit of a disappointment for the U.S. to see the Chinese women, you know, just pounding out the center of that target. But you can't let up. You cannot say it's over until it's actually over. So Team U.S. is going to have to fight back strong. There's the 10. It's on the line, but I can definitely see that that is in. It's touching the yellow on the inside of the line, which can definitely be called 10 from back here.
And Miranda Leek with the 10 here in the third end.
That's a huge comeback for the United States. 2 10s out of their last 3 arrows for this end. See what Khatuna can put down. A 9, about 2 centimeters out of the 10 ring, but still a lot better than what she's been doing earlier in this round.
So Team USA warming to the task, and now they have to hope to get a little bit lucky.
Mm-hmm. I think they've just gotten a little bit more relaxed now and are feeling the environment, feeling more relaxed in the environment. It's a 9 from China.
Team USA finishing with a 54 in this third end. And Team China?
Team China has already taken the lead with 1 arrow to go. So theoretically, Team China can miss and still be in the lead, which isn't a good thing for the U.S., but once again, what happens here is what we have to deal with.
China ahead 156 to 155, and this arrow will add 9 points and make it 165 to 155 after 3 ends.
But that's also unofficial. We have to look at those arrows that were touching the line, the 2 arrows on the first 3 that were shot. Miranda, Miss Leek's and Miss Lorig's arrows were either 8 or 9 or a 9 or a 10. So it could be 165 to 155 or 165 to 156 or 157, depending on after official scoring. We'll see it come up on our screens once it's been verified.
So as they wait for the verification of the scores, the conversation's going on down there near the shooting line. What are the coaches, particularly the USA coach, telling his troops right now?
Well, I can see from my vantage point, all the women are smiling. They're having a good time down there. So I'm pretty sure the coach is just telling them, you know, relax and just do your thing. And joking around with your archers. I mean, you're in the bronze medal match. This is a great place to be. And to be absolutely dead serious would just be a big fault on the archers' part. I can see that the Chinese women as well are also smiling. Their coach is just talking to them. I can't tell what he's saying, obviously. I can't speak that language. But they're smiling as well. But
you can read the body language.
Unfortunately, to the U.S., the Chinese archers have at least a 7-point lead, 8-point lead, sorry. And the U.S. is going to just be doing their shot. I mean, they've got nothing to lose now. They have possibly an... Oh, and I can see on the scoreboards that the score has been verified and it's official. It's 157 points for the U.S. So they did get both of those line calls. And it is no longer a 10-point lead for Team China. It is now 165 to 157 for Team China. Again, USA will be starting first. But like I said, they have nothing to lose. They can just get out there and do their shot, and whatever they do is going to be good enough.
60 points still out there in this fourth and final end.
That's very true.
And you've seen that happen before.
I have. By the U.S. men earlier this week. So, I mean, if the men can do it, the women can do it,
sure.
Right?
Run the table and see what happens.
Exactly.
So Team USA to start the fourth. Yes, the fourth and final end here at Lindquist Field in Ogden, Utah. The only baseball venue used in World Cup competition.
Great shot.
Bullseye.
Now, in the Olympics, there would be a small pinhole camera that would be in that X-ring, dead center in that target. And if there were, Jennifer Nichols would have just shot that camera and probably broken her arrow, but still counted as an X.
She would owe somebody some money, wouldn't she?
Well, I think so.
Maybe. I think she'd gladly pay it.
Well, unfortunately, the arrow would break.
Yeah.
There'd be some cracking of that carbon going on. So she'd be out some money, but I don't think the Easton Arrow program would be reluctant to give her more arrows.
Or replace the television camera. Now that one's on the line, but you've got to think that's a 9.
That is definitely in. We can see it on the inside of the line and in the gold. 184 points for Team US.
And USA 27 out of 30 possible points on those first 3 shots. And a 10.
And a 10 from Team China. Not showing any mercy and not letting up because they're in the lead.
Fang Yuting with China's second shot, and again, dead center.
That would have been another broken camera. But
and they're not cheap.
They're not cheap.
They're not cheap.
Other than that, this is great shooting from Team China.
You see that concentration, and it pays off with a 9.
9 down low, 194 to 184 for Team China. Team US on their last 3 arrows of the match.
Jennifer Nichols with an 8.
Straight out the bottom. Good strong shot, Miranda.
We can hear the coach of the U.S. team just saying strong shot. So it's nothing different than what they've been doing before. I think they just had a little bit of nerves in the beginning in front of the home crowd. That's a 9 high for Miss Leek. And final arrow for Khatuna Lorig.
What great experience for Miranda Leek.
This has definitely been her week. She was in the qualification round. She was in the lead for quite some time. And that's really good for a junior at this level.
And Khatuna Lorig finishes up the end, the 4th and final end for Team USA with an 8.
That's 209 points out of a possible 240 points for Team USA. Team China can clinch this match with only 2 arrows.
Although
that's an
7.
uncharacteristic 7 from China. Team China just needs an arrow in the yellow to clinch the match. And there it is, 210 points for China already with 1 more arrow to go.
And the final arrow in this bronze medal match for the women's teams. Jing letting it fly and scoring a 9 to wrap up the scoring. And the People's Republic of China will walk away with the bronze medal here in the women's team match.
Definitely good shooting from Team China, 219 points versus Team USA's 209. Solid shooting from Team China, and our hats off go to them, and congratulations for the bronze medal.
So China strong from start to finish and grabbing the lead in the first end and never letting it go. And there they are waving to the crowd here at Lindquist Field as the team from China walks away from this 3rd stage of the 2011 Archery World Cup with a bronze medal in the women's team competition. Tremendous consistent shooting for Team China, 219 out of 240 possible points. They didn't leave a lot out there.
No, they didn't. That one uncharacteristic 7 from China and a couple of those 8s were very strange to see, but definitely it was good enough shooting for what they had to do right here, right now, for the bronze medal match against the United States of America.
Now, everywhere you go, Crispin, you make the change from the practice fields to the actual elimination rounds where you're competing on different fields, and then you end up at a different venue.